call me Mystic Mac because I predict these things.
Jared Gordon takes on Thiago Moisés this Saturday at UFC Vegas 106. And this is going to be a really fun scrap between these guys who have a lot of UFC experience, are both very well-rounded. So I think this is going to be a really fun fight between these guys. Thiago Moisés, he's 30 years old, 5'9" with a 70.5-inch reach, and 19-8 in his career, fighting out of American Top Team as well as the Fighting Nerds as of late. So really cool to see him moving down to Sao Paulo and mixing it up with those guys who are all very high level. Moisés has, he has decent striking. It looked improved in his last fight against Trey Ogden. He has 3 KOs to his name. Looked really fast against Trey Ogden with his hands, much faster than he normally does. Has really good leg kicks, really hard calf kicks. I think he took Trey Ogden off his feet in their fight. And one of his most recent performances, he won via leg kick TKO over Mitch Ramirez. So definitely a threat with his leg kicks. Just doesn't move his head very, very well off the center line. That's one of my critiques of his stand-up, which just allows him to get tagged at times. More primarily a grappler, has very elite grappling and jiu-jitsu. Jiu-jitsu black belt, started training when he was like 8 years old. I think his dad was like an old school Vale Tudo MMA fighter back in the day, but really good entries on his takedowns, very good timing. We saw him just having like amazing shots against Ludovic Klein, but he just has such good hips that he was able to defend almost all of them, I believe it was, but just shoots really good takedowns in that fight. I mean, would have taken down a lot of guys with those takedowns, so I was very impressed with that. And he has 7 submission victories to his name, so can finish the fight wherever it goes. And he has really good ground and pound as well, really good control once he gets guys on the ground. Just kind of keeps his chin right under their chin, keeps their back against the mat, doesn't allow them to throw elbows at him, and just does a really good job controlling guys on the ground. His last fight against Trey Ogden, it was a good fight. I thought Trey Ogden would be a little bit too big for him. We saw him kind of bullying him around the first round, pushing him back, landing the better strikes. The second round, Moisés dropped Ogden with a leg kick and then went to the ground and landed some really good ground and pound. So it was 1-1 going into the third. And in the third round, Trey Ogden got a takedown and took his back, and he was about to, completely take his back with hooks in, but I think he tore his bicep. Because I knew he tore his bicep in that fight, and it looked like it was right then where he kind of fell to his back and then spent the rest of the round on his back. So I feel like if he would have gotten that takedown, he might have won that fight. And before that, Moisés lost to Ludovic Klein, was getting dropped, got dropped once with a right hand, got dropped with a liver kick, was just kind of all around getting beat up in that fight. Beat Mitch Ramirez by leg kicks. Before that, lost to Benoit Saint-Denis by ground and pound. So been kind of 50-50 in his career, but again, he's fought very high-level guys. Ludovic Klein, Benoit Saint-Denis, Joel Alvarez, Islam Makhachev, Benil Dariush, Damiris Magulov, like fighting like the who's who of 155 pounds and really only losing to very elite fighters. Jared Gordon, on the other hand, 36 years old, so he's going to be 6 years older. He's 5'9" with a 68-inch reach and 20-7 in his career, so they're going to be the same height, but he's going to be at a 2.5-inch reach disadvantage in this fight. Gordon, jiu-jitsu black belt as well, very good grappler. BJJ black belt under Mike Jaramillo, who's like a black belt under John Danaher. Wrestled growing up, has really good takedowns, feints his takedowns really well to open up his takedowns as well as his strikes on the feet. Good boxing, deceptively fast, honestly. Goes to the body and the head very well, good leg kicks, relentless forward pressure, and just mixes everything up well. Hits, throws strikes to the body, throws to the head, will shoot for takedowns, throw strikes off the clinch. So just very relentless and gritty dude. Really good cardio, just endless forward pressure. We saw that in his last fight against Nasrat Haqparast, just pushing a super high pace, making it really grimy, keeping Nasrat Haqparast on the back foot the majority of the fight. My main concern with him, though, is he's just kind of chinny. He's been KO'd 3 times in the UFC. Granted, it's by really good competition, like Charles Oliveira, Joaquim Silva, and Diego Ferreira. He did have that just awful no contest to Bobby Green where he got headbutted to the temple and then just put out cold by unanswered punches. It was just an awful circumstances for him to take that much damage to the head off of an illegal strike and then end up being a no contest. But super tough dude, and his chin looked like it was holding up in his last fight against Nasrat Haqparast. Took a few shots against Mark Madsen before getting that KO, and that was a really impressive fight as well because he was able to defend the takedowns, work out of the clinch, and get the knockout over Mark Madsen, who's like an Olympic level wrestler. And his last fight with Nasrat Haqparast, that was just a drag him out war with Nasrat. Went to a split decision. You could argue that he won it, but still just a very gritty and impressive performance over somebody like Nasrat Haqparast, who I think is very good. And Nasrat's on a run right now. He's on a 5-fight winning streak right now. Just beat Esteban Rivovic, who I'm very high on. So, but I'm gonna go with Jared Gordon in this one. I know he's 6 years older, hasn't fought in over a year, coming off of a loss. Whereas, Thiago Moisés just fought in January. But I feel like in his fight with Trey Ogden, he was really getting pushed back a lot in that fight. And I feel like Jared Gordon's going to be able to do that, but better. I know Moisés, he's going to be the younger guy, maybe the faster guy. I expect to see, a lot of improvements from him in training with the Fighting Nerds. And he's really good with the takedowns and kind of the timing of his entries. And I'm wondering if that'll work against kind of the older guy in Jared Gordon. But I think Gordon can break him. I see Thiago Moisés kind of wilt to the pressure. And if things aren't really going his way, rarely does he turn it around. And we've seen that against guys in a lot of his losses. Ludovic Klein couldn't really get anything going or turn it around. And Benoit Saint-Denis, he just kept building. He kept building with his pressure and his tenacity as the fight went on. And Thiago Moisés just didn't have an answer for him, which doesn't seem like when somebody's coming on heavy and they're putting on tons of pressure, he just doesn't have an answer for that type of style. And that's exactly what Jared Gordon does. I think his pressure will negate Moisés' kicks, keep him on the back foot to where he's not able to land his kicks very well, not able to shoot his takedowns, not moving forward. And I think he'll just walk forward nonstop and just wear on Moisés with his grimy style and just grind on him. And I think he gets this one done. I am concerned because Moisés looked really fast in his last fight, but I think Jared Gordon can take it. I think Jared Gordon can negate the leg kicks and takedowns of Moisés with his pressure. I think if it does go to the ground, I trust Jared Gordon's jiu-jitsu to at least keep him safe against somebody like Moisés. And Moisés, I feel like he's kind of undersized for 155. I think Jared Gordon will probably be the stronger guy, and I think he'll be able to build as the fight goes on to get this one done. I really do. It's a very evens fight. I think the odds are evens, -110 both ways. I'm going to go Jared Gordon this one. I think he's just a tough, gritty guy, and you really got to kind of put him out in order to get him to stop. He had a really good performance against Paddy Pimblett, which me and a lot of people think that he won that fight, and Paddy Pimblett's elite. He wins that fight, beat Leonardo Santos. The King Green fight, he was having a lot of success before that illegal blow hit. He was tagging Bobby Green and landed on him very well. And the Nasrat Haqparast fight, you can argue he won that. So, in a different world, we could be looking at Jared Gordon on a 5-fight winning streak, honestly. He did lose to Grant Dawson, just got out-grappled and choked out, but I think he's very underrated. I feel like his record and fights as of late aren't representative of his potential, and I think he gets this one done over Thiago Moisés. Thanks.